Hi guys, Jeannie Street here, spiritual medium, healer, and author. And today we are talking about the Spiritual Book Club and the Goddess You, the first chapter. So the first step of the Goddess You, of living in your soul alignment, is learning to quiet your mind. Quieting our mind is not an easy task because there's a lot of chatter going on in there, right? We always are having constant thoughts, constant guidance, and which we don't always know which one to discern from, the fear voice or the love voice, because they really do sound alike. And I love the saying, everywhere you go, there you are. So how are you going to determine what voice to guide you, which voice to listen to? And is there really two different voices in your head? So I'm here to tell you, yes, there are two voices in your head. One comes from a place of love, and that voice is always going to lead you to where you want to go. It's going to be the one that's going to bring hope. It's going to remind you of faith. It's going to remind you of all the goodness that is available to you, that you have the choice to choose love. It's going to let you know that you can break habits, that you have the strength. It's going to help you know that if you're going through grief, that you are supported by your loved ones, because the soul is infinite, that even if your departed loved ones have left the physical world, they can still connect with you because there's an energetic connection. There's hope, right? There's love. But the fear voice, which I call so lovingly in my book, The Goddess You, Shmego. And I named him because I needed to have a face to the voice. I needed to put a symbolism to this tone that we would all hear, that I would hear over and over again, and how I could teach it to others. So Shmego for me is fear and ego voice. It's fear and ego joined together to create chaos. And so this voice, though it sounds like your voice, is also the voice of anything in the negative. So this voice is going to let you know you're not safe. This is the voice of shame. This is the voice of grief. This is the voice of guilty, of feeling guilt when really you shouldn't feel guilt. This is the voice of lack. So that's the voice we need to learn to distinguish between the love and the fear, right? We need to understand that this is what's holding us back. So when we learn to quiet our mind, we can better be in alignment with love. When we quiet our mind, we can hear the truth of our soul. We can hear our loved ones that have departed. So you don't always have to connect with a medium to feel your loved ones or to hear from them, that you can do it in the privacy of your own home, through your prayer, through your quiet mind. But how do we quiet our mind? It's not an easy task. I'm going to agree with you on that. Meditating isn't for everybody because we're busy and we're running and we're going. But I'm going to give you a couple tips that have worked for me over the years like a charm. And it's what I use in my daily life. It's what I do. And I'm a busy mom of 4. I have 5 grandbabies and I run a business. So I am a busy, busy gal. But I take time out each and every day in order to quiet my mind. So what does it look like? It is, I call this the cycle breathing. It's very simple. We breathe in to a count of 5 or 10, and we exhale out that same count. So what we're doing when we're taking this breath in is we're following it with our internal eyes. We're following this breath as it enters our body, and we're allowing it to go all the way into the base of our spine. So we feel connected to the here and now. And then as we're exhaling, we're releasing any fears, judgments, or any worries that we have. This tone, when we use the count, helps us to get out of our mind and into our body. So when we quiet the mind, we can hear spirit. We can pay attention to that internal guidance system that we are all born with. You have clear intuition. You just might be disconnected from it. Some people know their intuition. Other people completely deny it. So I don't know where you are on that spectrum, but I want you to get to that point of not judging your intuition, of being able to follow it and have it be the best voice that has spoken to you and guided you and lovingly supported you ever. And you can't get there without quieting your mind. We can skate all around these things. We can say, I'm not going to journal. I'm not going to meditate. But guess what? You won't find the voice of love because it can't be found with that chatter going on. So find the time every day. All you need is like 5 to 10 minutes to begin. Work yourself up to about 20 minutes and it will be golden. The more time you give to yourself, to your spiritual practice of quieting the mind, the better you're going to feel. Guaranteed, hands down. So cycle breathing, breathing in to the count and exhaling to the count. Following the breath with your internal eyes. What does this mean? Well, we close our eyes and we allow our eyes to become quiet. We look down. And as we are looking down, we can follow that breath. We can see internally if we allow ourselves. Now, if you're challenged by this, please don't try too hard. You can do this other trick that I'm going to give you. You can use the center of your forehead, which is known as the third eye, to focus your eyes while they're closed on the center of your forehead on the inside. This will help you to stay focused and quiet, and then have those numbers be the soothing thing that stops the voices from going on and on and on. Now, does this mean that your brain is going to stop chattering and telling you you have to go to the grocery store or pick up so-and-so from gymnastics or, get to the bank or you've got bills to pay? No, these things are still going to happen, but we're going to just put them on hold. So you're not going to engage with them as you're doing your cycle breathing. You're not going to engage with the chatter as you're in this me time. That sounds pretty good, right? To give yourself a little bit of you time in order to be still, in order to recognize that intuition, in order to hear the voice of God rather than run through the entire day so fast. So, do you think you can do that? I think you can. In the first chapter of my book, I talk all about my journey to quieting my mind. And I share some insights with you and confirmations about seeing angels and how that all happened and how that led me to a better understanding of why it's so important to quiet our mind. And I'll tell you this, I have had the privilege of working with amazing women and amazing people throughout the years, both as clients and as students. And what I've found is once they gain this practice of quieting their mind, just this one step, their life begins to change. Their life begins to be easeful. They start to notice small shifts of miracles that happen because now they can, because the voice of love will let them see where this truth is. They begin to see what the lies they have been told by Shmego. What lies have you been told? What lies do you live in because of this false belief system that this mind chatter has you stuck in? I'll tell you, I lived with the voice of denying my gifts for so long that it was a norm to put myself down. It was a norm to play small because that voice was always there. Now, am I challenged by that voice still? Yes, there are times it still sneaks in and says, Jeannie, you're not safe. Jeannie, they don't like you. Jeannie, don't do that. But then I hit my knees, I stop, drop, and pray, and I get back. I do that calming breath, and I am back in that moment of love, and I realize, and I can see where truth is. I can see that God says, no, you're safe. God says, no, you're perfect. No, your gifts are meant to heal. Your gifts are meant to heal you and others. So I can see the miracle once I quiet that tone. What miracle can you see once you figure out what lies Shmego has been telling you? So I invite you to grab your journal. If you have the Goddess Journal, you can use that. And if you don't, any journal will do. And I want you to do that cycle breathing. And I want you to hear the voice of love. And when you hear that voice of love, what does it sound like? Notice it. Feel it. Understand it. That way, when that fear voice comes back in, you can recognize it. And you'll understand. And you'll see through that deception and that separation that Shmego is wanting you to be in. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoy The first chapter of The God Is You. If you haven't picked up your book yet, you can get it right on Amazon, and I'll include it in the link. You can also get it on my website or at Barnes & Noble. I hope you have a beautiful day, and Happy New Year. God bless.